video.
And if they focus on my name, just 'cause she loves
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to HalferLand Performance, HalferLand Videos. Today I have a very exciting update, at least for me, and I'm hoping for you guys, for the J-Series community. Recently, a little background, I actually have a lot of background in e-commerce, SEO, customer service, sourcing, and manufacturing. So this lends a lot of help to the J-Series community, as I can source new parts. I can get new forged parts made, as we're doing a group buy on J35 rods. So if you guys are interested in 900 horsepower H-beam J35 rods, we have a group buy. If we can get 6 people, the cost for the J35 rods complete set with ARP 2000 equivalent bolts and free shipping is only $380. $380, guys. If we can get 12 people or more, that cost goes down to $340. You can't even buy a magnesium intake manifold for that price, or ZDX 70mm ZDX throttle body, and this is insurance for 900 horsepower. So if you guys are interested, check out my Instagram and PM me or email me. You can check out the Instagram at HalferLand Performance on IG, or you can email me at halferland@gmail.com if you're interested. So we're asking for the $380 deposit, and once we have 6 people, we will make a final post. We'll let you guys know, and that will be basically the final roll call saying, hey, we got 6 people, we can go at $380, but if we can get 12, we can go lower that price to $340. So what I wanted to show you guys today is this. This is super exciting on my part, or for us, and for the J-Series community. What this is, guys, is our new website. The website is HondaJSeriesEngine.com. HondaJSeriesEngine.com. That right there will build our ranking like nobody. So whenever you go on Google, or whoever goes on Google, and they look for Honda J-Series motors or J-Series engine, the first website to pop up is going to be our website. And what that does, guys, it's not just for me, but it's also for the entire community. Because what I'm doing here, this is obviously our homepage. So if you need to go shop, you can click here to shop J-Series Performance Parts. We have some pictures. That's my car. Some customer cylinder heads that were being, these were a stage 3 PMP with the polished combustion chamber, polished throughout. These are our runners. Then we have our stage 2 cams. This is our NA dyno right there. And then if you go to shop, that will bring you directly to our online store. And as you see here, there we go. We got porters and polished categories over here. OEM performance J-Series camshafts, e-tuning, ECUs, factory ECU reprogramming. So we can actually reprogram the ECU. So HONDATA, if you have a 7th gen Accord or a 3rd gen TL, you need to swap ECUs. Whenever you do that, you have to resync that ECU to your vehicle, to your VIN, immobilizer, and key. We can do all of that. You don't have to go to a dealer. We send you the equipment, and we tap into the computer remotely, and we do all the work. So it's actually very convenient, and on top of that, it's very affordable. It's only about 1/3 the cost of a dealer. It's only $150, and we reprogram your immobilizer, your key, and your ECU all to your VIN and all to your vehicle. Camshafts, in regards to camshafts, we have our it's becoming very popular stage 2 HalferLand Performance Stage 2 camshafts. This is the cam that we made 316 262 wheel horsepower. Most customers are saying about 18 to 25 wheel horsepower gains. Now, if you have ported and polished heads, you're going to see more. For example, we saw a gain of about 36 wheel horsepower and about 14 wheel torque with these Stage 2 cams. Now, if you want to stay OEM and only change out cams, keep the stock springs, stock retainers, etc., you can go with the MDX. The MDX is going to be a faster revving OEM cam because it is by far one of the lightest cams. It actually is the lightest cam that Honda put out for the J-Series because they are hollow. On top of that, it has the 3rd highest lift and duration of all J-Series cams. So it is a great cam if wanting to stay stock OEM. Now, in regards to, once again, in regards to OEM swap cam, the 07R8 is going, RL is going to be the highest lift and duration. It's going to have great low end, and it's going to have great mid range. Up top, it still carries up top, but if you want a higher, more up top or a higher revving cam, the TL Type S will actually have a little less low end and mid range, but it will have a little more top end. And when I say little more, I mean very little. I'm talking like 3 to 4 horsepower. Ultimately, I feel the RL cams are the best because I had these RL cams in my J30, and that J30 made 275, 232 at its prime. Okay, and then also I went nitrous, and that car made 350, 340. So it made a ton, I mean a ton of extra torque off 100 shot. In regards to porting and polishing, right now, all we have are the runners. These are a complete stage 3, fully ported, fully polished, open up, gasket matched, everything. Those are $285 if you want them painted. It would be like an additional $30 or something like that. And then we have our stage 1 through 5, or 1 through 3 intake manifold. The stage 1 is $195, and we open up the we open up the ports. So as you can see here, we open up these ports right here, we gasket match them, and then we port them through. And then we also do the same on the throttle body. So all you got to do is go down to your stage options, and it tells you right here, stage 1 is going to be the throttle body inlet and runner side outlets are going to be ported. They're going to be ported and gasket matched, no polish. Now, if you want a stage 2 and have them fully polished, it's going to be the throttle body inlet and the runner side outlets. They're going to be ported, gasket matched, and polished. Now, a stage 3, this only applies to the magnesium because we do not cut the stock intake manifolds. Honestly, it is not worth it, guys. It takes a lot of work, and it's just not worth it. You can have the 3.7 or the 3.5 manifolds have more capacity than the stock one will ever have when cutting it open and doing it. It's just a waste of money, to be honest with you. But if you get a magnesium, what we do then, we open it up, and then we split it open, we fully port and polish and gasket match that. So those are the 3 options there for porting and polishing. Back on the website, we go to the about page, and the about page is just a quick little brief description and a video of where we came from, what we're about, and why we're here, what we're doing. So it just basically says, you know, we started as a DIY self-taught garage mechanic, been working on J-Series motors for 10 plus years, blah blah blah. Now if you go to FAQ is where it's going to be at, guys. Right now we're trying to code in a platform that will allow customers and just everyday DIY guys to post their own questions and allow other J-Series enthusiasts to respond. So this page is going to be very, very built out, and this is going to be a great tool, you guys. I mean, a very great tool. So like, who is HalferLand Performance is our first question. All right, and it tells you right there, blah blah blah. But what motors are in the Honda J-Series family? And this is how we categorize them. I categorize them in the Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3. So if you go down here, you guys, this is a great tool to reference. Whenever you're confused and you're like, what will work? What swap can I do? Etc. This is a great tool. Go to the FAQ page. And like I said, guys, we're going to build this page out a lot. This is going to be a page where it's like a question and answer almost, where you can post a question and somebody or anybody can answer, and there could be multiple questions. So this is going to be built out, and what it's going to do, it's really going to mirror like a forum like v6p.net or AccuResign, but it's going to be strictly performance, like what swaps, Frankenstein builds, etc. What can we do? And this is going to be a great tool because you can come on our FAQ page on HondaJSeriesEngines.com. You can come on our FAQ page, post a question if you have a question, you can't figure something out, or you can go through all the questions and see if anybody has ever brought up the topic or responded. And down the road, you guys, we will categorize it, so these won't just be a whole list of questions. We'll put Honda J Series motor swaps, you know, swaps, Frankenstein builds, questions in regards to rods, pistons, all of that stuff. So keep an eye out on this FAQ page, because that's going to be huge. Now the project page is obviously, as it sounds, it's going to be HalferLand Performance's projects, different projects. So right now what we have mainly going is we have our track car, and of course we have my daily J32 A3, which is turboed on about 8 psi, making around 560 wheel horsepower. So, and it shows you my IG links and all that, and once again it tells you where we started, what we want to do. So ultimate project is to bring this platform to rival basically like the GM Chevy LS platform, which is going to be tough, guys. I mean, that's GM, they have that LS platform built out so much, there's so many different options, but that is equivalent to what I would like with the J Series motor, and what I think a lot of people would like. They just want more options, more affordable options, because right now if there are performance options for these cars, either the race teams hold them back, they hold the tech back, or it's very, very expensive and it's way above the normal DIY guy's budget. So a lot of the parts that we list, you'll see, I mean, our cams are like $300 less than any other cam that you'll find out there, and we have proven power. We have dyno numbers showing our J32 made 316, where some J35s barely make 305. And then our blog page is going to be basically it's going to be pretty close to the projects page, but it's going to have kind of like a question. It's just going to be kind of my brain working, like helping you guys out with different things, you know, how to rotate tires, you know, different swaps on pistons. It's just going to be a mix of stuff, where the FAQ is a straight question and answer. The blog is going to be more of me like brainstorming, having ideas, answering it, and you guys can read it to give you guys ideas on how to basically go about your build, or give you an idea on what direction you want your build to be. So once again, guys, please don't forget, it is now live. Honda J Series Engines, Honda J Series Engine.com. That is our website. It is now live. It's going to have a bunch of great tools. It's going to have our shop. It's going to have questions about us. It's going to have the FAQ page, which you'll be able to post questions and have other people answer them. So if you ever need a question answered, you can go here and refer to it. Of course, our projects page, such as our track car and other turbo systems, blog, just kind of spitballing ideas, and of course our Patreon if you want to support us. Patreon is our Patreon page. If you've never been here before, please check it out. We have a total of 5 Patreons right now, and I want to thank you guys so much who are already subscribed as a Patreon. But this is a Patreon. You can go on here, guys. $10 a month. You can sign up for our Q&A, or if you want to just simply support us, we also have a $5 monthly subscription. You can subscribe as many times as you want, and just to support us, because our ultimate goal is to make off-the-shelf J-Series turbo kits. That is the main reason why I really got into this, because there's nobody really out there that makes them, and if they do, they're like $6,000-$7,000. My ultimate goal is to bring a turbo kit. I mean, talking hot side, cold side, basically complete. If I can get a complete kit, I want that complete kit to be $4,000 to $4,500, and I think that's obtainable for the DIY guy. $6,000, that's another basically $1,500 to $2,000, which is a lot more for the normal guy that's just working. But $4,000, you save your money over a year or 2 years, you can have $4,000 and you can have the complete turbo kit ready to go. And that's what I want to do. And all the money from Patreon goes directly into the company. I don't take the money, I don't do anything with it. All I do is take the money to buy new parts, to either create new ideas, or to basically funnel into our bank account to save up to make custom turbo kits, such as the track car. The track car was 100% purchased, with the Patreon money. And that track car is going to be a proof of concept, and it's also going to be a great tool, or a great showcase of what you can do with a J30, because a lot of guys have the stock J30 still in their Accord. So all that was purchased with the Patreon money. So that's that, guys. Let's go out. I'm going to show you a couple projects that we have going on. What's going on with my baby today is It's a 208,000 mile starter, so the starter finally went out. And you can see, hopefully you can see the location. You can't really see it, but this is the turbo. That's the wastegate, and then the starter is literally, I mean literally, like a millimeter from it. So it may just be age, but it might also be the excessive heat that it was exposed to, because literally that wastegate and that turbo up pipe is sitting right next to that starter. So I'm going to do the best I can to maybe block it off. I'm probably going to put some type of like heat shield, like a metal heat shield with this heat tape, because this is really, really thick. This is the gold reflective tape. This is a super thick heat tape. I can't remember where I got it, but I have a bunch of it and it's thick. I mean, like really thick. So I have this heat tape on my oil pan, and I also have it on the front side of my transmission to hopefully block a little bit of heat from this bad boy, because this bitch gets hot. So that's that. I'm waiting on the starter to get here. So my baby's been down for about 2-3 days. Hopefully hopefully it gets here pretty soon, but because I miss driving her, man. I want to drive her soon. But that's the update for now. Besides that, you guys, I have about, I want to say 3,000 to 4,000 miles on the new rebuilt motor. Not new rebuilt, but this is the motor where it ate the piston, because if you go back in the video, it says #1 issue with when turboing stock J series motor. So the rings end up superheating because they are super tight from the factory. They heat and then they pinch together and they kind of fold up, and that fold ends up breaking the ringland, and the ringland is where the piston rings sit on the piston, so it ends up cracking that, and then you lose all compression in that cylinder, which I did, which happened to be #4. And usually these are going to be the hot cylinders, #4 and #1, because the air rushes in and it usually hits the backside of the intake manifold, and usually #4 and #1 are the hot cylinders because they get the most air. So you end up, I usually put about 1% more fuel into the back cylinders when I tune cars, and very rarely do I have a car knock on those two cylinders. It's just something I like to do, and you guys, we do offer tuning. So I tuned this motor, the J32A3. If you haven't seen my dyno video, go back. It dynoed 316 and 316 wheel horsepower and 262 wheel torque, and that was with an incomplete tune because I was rushed, because I was going turbo literally the next week, and everybody was wondering, you know, just get a baseline, what is the motor doing itself, because I had our stage 2 cams in there, our stage 1.5 heads, which these are also. So I wanted to see what it would do, and it did freaking great. I mean, there's a lot of guys that struggle to make 300, over 300 on a J35. So let alone a J32, we made 316. And what I'm getting at is we had negative 2-step coulter plugs. We had 245 tires, which are on the car now, 17x9 rims, and an incomplete tune. So literally just cleaning up the tune, we could have picked up another 5 horsepower. And then changing out the stock heat range, because we're NA, we didn't need 2-step coulter plugs, but like I said, I already had them in. I was like, fuck it, who cares? So those two changes right there, the car could have been 325. That motor, that J32A3 with our setup, our cams, could have easily been 325. So that's that, guys. I'm doing the best I can. If you take a look at our website, we are growing like crazy, but all this is being funded out of my own pocket. So I'm doing the best we can. I need support from you guys, and I really appreciate all the support thus far. I'm not making anything from the company yet. It's basically anything I sell is being pushed right back into the company, and that's the only way I can grow at the moment, while still having my 9-to-5, which pays for obviously my living expenses, my child got going on here, you guys. I am working on these to post them on our online store. These are going to be our new products, new offerings. We're going to have a drive-by wire stock throttle body. It's going to be bored out to, I believe, 70. If I can hit 70, which I believe I have before, it will be the equivalent of a ZDX throttle body for about half of the price. So you can get a ZDX throttle body for about I think 300, maybe 350, and then most people usually buy that to mate with a 3.5 or 3.7 magnesium intake manifold. So this will be the stock equivalent or another alternative to buying an expensive ass ZDX throttle body, because it will be bored out to the same specs. It will actually be even bigger, and it will flow better because it's going to be polished. Next up is going to be the 3.5, 3.2. This is going to be the first gen offering because it has the drive-by cable, as you can see here. So these will be cleaned up, they will be ported and polished. And then what we have here is a pretty rare, not pretty rare, but it is pretty rare. They're a little hard to find because a lot of people have bought them up. This is a full-size intake manifold spacer. So this came off of like the first gen. I believe some second gen have them. It goes underneath the intake manifold, and it just basically makes it a longer plenum. And what that does, if you're well known, or you know a lot about the cars and airflow and stuff, a longer plenum usually builds more torque down low, where a smaller, shorter plenum or runner is better for a top end. So this will be ported and polished throughout the inside. All of our parts are used, guys, so you will see a little bit of normal wear and tear, but we go over everything. I've already pulled and opened up this cap to make sure all the internals on this drive-by-wire throttle body are good to go, so there's no rust. There's nothing wrong in there. So we inspect, we check, we go over everything to make sure they're 100% functional, and then we clean them up the best we can, and we do our job, and then we offer them to you. So this will be available in, I say, probably about a week. Same with these two throttle bodies. So keep an eye out, guys. If you guys are interested in any of the parts, check our online store. The online store link is in the video description down low. All right, guys.